Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meire and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today's video is going to be a bit different. If you've been following this channel's schedule, or if you've seen the schedule video for April, then you know that today's video is a video that no one asked for, but sort of everyone did, because I have been getting so many questions and so many DMs on Instagram about burnouts and motivation. And how do you stay motivated if you're not selling for 3 months? Or I've been doing this for such a long time and I'm not succeeding. What is there to keep me motivated to go forward? Or people saying, I started an Etsy store and after a week I got like massive anxiety attacks and I feel like I'm doing it wrong, or I'm so tired all the time. And well, it is given because most of the people I feel like in this channel, or generally that approach me, was because we suffer from similar chronic illnesses like fibromyalgia, cystic fibrosis, chronic fatigue, post-traumatic stress disorders, depression, anxieties. And first of all, thank you so much for sharing those very personal experiences and details about your medical and mental conditions with me. I feel kind of honored. And I remember after the first time that I was sharing this with you guys, the comments that I got were like, I was telling my best friend, I attracted my type. And it's not because I love, people with chronic illness, but I felt like I was sort of attracting myself to me, like people who are resembling me, who struggle with certain things and find their source of relief through art. And then you discover that you can make money from the art that you made for, art therapy, or because you were just sitting at home and depressed and afraid to go out, or you discovered that you can make money from your bed. So being bedridden most of the time doesn't mean you're going to have to be financially in the gutter for, all your life. And it's been truly amazing for me to learn that and to have you guys share that with me. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for trusting me with that information, whether you are open about your condition or not. Thank you for trusting me in, one-on-one conversations, which are harder than just, flat out saying, I have PTSD, I have fibromyalgia. One-on-one conversations can be wrenching. And thank you for asking me this repetitive question, because I was just sitting down and writing the script or the points I don't want to forget about this video. And I filled like 5 pages, which is okay because I do like big handwriting when I, just thought process and sort of what we like to call brain dump on a piece of paper. But I was sitting with my morning coffee and morning cigarette because yes, I'm a smoker. And I was writing this down. All of these ideas started coming up, and not just ideas. I've been an online freelancer for about 5.5 years now. I think we're nearing 6 years because I started around July of 2015. Throughout these years, I've had my share of burnouts myself. I've had motivational doubts. I've had a lot of, different stages of going through stuff, but it's not just me, because a big part of what I've been doing in the past 5 years relates to other people's business, whether it's building a website for someone, marketing them on Facebook, consulting Etsy sellers, helping people get started with Fiverr, and even giving lectures. And a lot of people have been burned out. A lot of people come to you and ask you, what is your motivation? What keeps you going? And one of the main things I tell people is that motivation is something you need at the beginning. It might be your catalyst to start things, but it cannot be your reason for doing things, which is ridiculous to say because, motivation is basically a reason for doing something. And I know that this might not be, a good analysis, but I remember I had a friend, she was super overweight, and she kept trying to lose weight or control what she eats, and she was very depressed with that. It took having, bad health, because, you can be overweight and still be healthy. But it took her coming to a doctor and looking at her blood test, and I think she was like 23 at that time, and realizing that her motivation was wanting to live better, wanting to live longer, and not having to do surgery, because they were talking about surgery at that point. And she started working out, and we are about 8 or 9 years after that, and she still works out every day. She still watches what she eats every day, and she's skinnier than me. Her motivation was to live longer. Her motivation was to get out of that rut. Throughout these years, even though she has gotten herself out of it, the motivation became not important, because what was important to her was the fact that she now has a lifestyle and she's maintaining it. And of course, the motivation to keep maintaining it isn't the same, because she can skip out on going to the gym or working out or eating healthy for the next 2 months. And it's not going to damage her in the way that motivated her to start. But at some point, the motivation became a lifestyle. Like, what you did from being motivated became her lifestyle. And I think that if you have this huge amount of motivation and it isn't being translated into lifestyle fast enough, motivation will die, and your reason for doing things will die with it, and you will be burned out. And with that being said, I would like to go and get started with my brain dump. So the first thing that I wrote down here is that it doesn't matter what you do online, you can get burned out. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that sometimes, because they think, I'm starting on RedBubble, so I have a lot of immediate competition, and I've been uploading and uploading for 3 months and with no success, so I'm burned out. But they don't see the fact that a person who just opened a business to become an online freelancer of any kind can get burned out too. And it doesn't matter what type of business you have, you can get burned out. And I hope that the points that I've had written down here will relate to all of these types of online business ideas, online business ventures, online business stores. And I really do think that they all match up, because the very first reason why people get burned out is because they work harder than the reward that they're getting. And I remember asking a friend of mine, if you could choose to have 2 different jobs, the first job is a job that you love. You go to it every morning happy. You are excited when it's time to go to work. And sometimes when work ends, you're kind of sad, because you really do love what you do. You love this company, you love the company's clients, you love your coworkers. For you, sitting at a lunch break at work is like hanging out with your friends. And that work pays you pretty much just enough to live. It covers your rent, it covers your medical expenses, it covers, going out every once in a while. Living, not living large, but you have your clothes and you have everything that you need. Versus a job that pays you double than that, but every morning when you get up to work, you're depressed. You hate the people that you work with. You feel undervalued, like your boss doesn't really see the value of the work that you do or the hard work that you put in. And every evening when you get back home, you feel so drained that you have no energy to do anything with the money that you made. Which would you choose? And she flat out said, I would choose the first one. And I remember looking at her and telling her, so why are you at your job right now? Because she was so unhappy at her job. She was being paid a lot of money. And she actually took this job after leaving a workplace that she loved that made her less money. And that is sort of the 2 sides that can lead to being burned out. Because if you love what you do, if you love uploading designs onto RedBubble and, seeing them on different items, if you like drawing watercolor paintings, taking photos of them and uploading them onto Society6, if you love making custom illustrations for people on Etsy, if you truly love that, then the level of time it's going to take you to get burned out, the level of money that you need from it to not get burned out is lower. But if you start a RedBubble shop, and I've heard people say stuff like, I just started a RedBubble shop a month ago and I've only made $600 from it. I'm feeling drained. And I don't know if you've ever been on RedBubble, but making $600 on your first month is amazing. It's like, what's your secret, And they spend a lot of time, doing niche research and finding good keywords and purchasing designs or making the designs that were trending. And they were uploading and uploading in the good way. I mean, they weren't spamming because they weren't creating false tags, but they did create only art based on niche research and keywords that are trending. And they did a lot of Pinterest work, and they did a lot of Instagram and Facebook ads, and they made good money in terms of, first month on the platform. But they were burned out. And I remember asking that person, do you love design? And they said, no, I just need the money. But if you only need the money and you live in a Western country, $600 is nothing. If all you care about is the money, then you need to go and find a different job that will get you more money because you don't like designing. So anything else would be better. So I think that the first thing that you should ask yourselves would be, do you like what you do? Do you like what you set out to be doing with your time? And I know a lot of people who don't like designing, and for them, that all access subscription with Creative Fabrica is a good thing because they love Instagram and they like making stories on Instagram and they love TikTok and they love Pinterest and they love marketing. That's their thing. So make sure that you end up doing something that you love. Whether you do it 16 hours a day or 1 hour a day, it doesn't matter. If you don't love what you do, you'll get burned out like that. Another reason why I see people being burned out and feeling this lack of motivation is basically from lack of knowledge. They come into a platform or they come into this business idea. They feel like they've done enough research by just, looking around, or they really don't know enough about this thing and they start something out. And it also corresponds with they spend money on marketing that shop or idea. But the idea or the shop are built wrong, and that money is spent pointless. And this is something that I've seen because a big part of my business in the past 5 years was consulting Etsy stores. I had a quite successful service gig on Fiverr that basically people pay me $15 and I go and look at their Etsy shop and tell them what's wrong with it. Your banner, your logo, your tagline, your keywords, your listing photos, stuff like that. I remember some of the people who bought this gig, just put in the link of the store because that's basically all I need. But some of the people who purchased this service wrote like a huge story of feeling so frustrated because they have been working on this store for 6 months and they have been spending $200 a month on Etsy ads and $400 a month on Facebook ads and seeing nothing in return. And they're frustrated and, maybe it's all just a big scam. And I'm going into the store and, Etsy ads correlate with your tags and your keywords, but most of their products don't have keywords. A lot of these stores that wrote me this very sappy and sad story about spending so much money on marketing had bad photos, had a description of one sentence when it should be half a page long at least, and they were doing the entire shop wrong. And for 6 months marketing a bad product. And I don't mean their product, I mean the shop itself was not good. A lot of these people got frustrated when I told them that, when I found it weird, because, someone is actually telling you what the problem is. But a lot of the reasons why we get burned out is because we set our minds to do something. And we think that this is the way. And that's what's going to happen. And if someone is telling us you're doing this wrong or you should be doing this differently, they are only trying to hurt us. Like this whole mindset of no one can tell me what to do, I need validation from others and not critique. These are things that could get you burned out very, very fast, as well as obviously spending your money on a bad product. On the other hand, we have people who don't spend enough money on what they want to do. Because I've been talking to people who are like, I've been designing and designing for RedBubble and uploading. And I get nothing in return. And you look at their shop and you look at it and it's like, well, you need to have like transparent backgrounds for t-shirts because they sell more. You need to have patterns, better graphics, better fonts. And they always say, I don't have money for that. I don't have money for Canva. I don't have money for better mockups. I don't have money for this program or this subscription or this font. And to be honest, if you don't have money to have the right tools to do your job, to operate your business, to upload designs, yes, I understand that this is a problem. And I'm not talking to you as some rich kid who had everything handed to her in life. It took me 4 years of using Canva to get a subscription. But once I did, it was so worth it because it was so little investment into what I get in return. And a lot of people don't understand the fact that they do have to spend money. And it's not just money, it's either spend money or time, because you can take the money you want to spend on Facebook ads and turn it into time spending on, manually doing pins on Pinterest. And I even heard people say stuff like, I don't have time to spend on marketing right now, and I don't have money to spend on marketing. And I'm like, so how do you expect to succeed? Another thing that I've noticed that can cause burnout is people who feel like they are entitled for success. And that's the thing. You're not. You're not entitled to have a successful Etsy store. You're not entitled to have a RedBubble store that sells a lot. And that's not because I have something against you. I'm not entitled either. Even if you are the best artist or the best designer, Etsy belongs to the people who own Etsy. RedBubble is owned by the people who own RedBubble. You don't own this platform. You're not entitled for anything from it. And once you realize that they don't owe you anything, only then you can take your own ownership on your success or your failure and learn from it. Because if you feel like you deserve to get something from someone or a platform and you don't get it, it's not going to tell you, oh, maybe I need to do, better marketing. Maybe I need to learn design. No, it's going to tell you this is not fair. And this is not fair is the worst possible situation or mindset you can have when wanting to succeed in any type of business. Because, hey, guess what? Life isn't fair. And this somehow sort of relates to another reason why people lose motivation, because they believe the odds are stacked against them. Like, I hear people saying, no, I can't succeed on RedBubble because I am from Pakistan. What is the correlation? Some of the best and most talented artists I know are from India, from Pakistan. Some of the most successful Etsy stores that I know are from Romania and from Thailand. And there really is no correlation between the two, because I remember when there was this big RedBubble suspension thing, and I know a lot of people, hated me for that, because I posted a video about why I think that this suspension is happening. A lot of people are like, no, it's not fair. I'm from a third world country or not a native English speaking country, so that's why I got suspended. Never mind the fact that I'm from Israel, and Israel is not a native English speaking country. And people here weren't suspended, as well as all of my friends from Thailand, from Korea, from Japan, from a lot of different places who are not native English speakers. It's easy to look at this mass amount of people who are saying, like, I got suspended for no reason other than being from a third world country. But if you actually looked in to some of the designs that they have uploaded onto their profile, that, they didn't use the link, but they used the actual image because the link was now deactivated, you would see that a lot of them had tag spamming, copyright infringements, and many, many valid reasons to get suspended. And it's all about understanding or taking responsibility for what you do. And I know that it's sort of like off topic, but it is something that I see a lot of people feeling like, the odds are stacked against me, not just from being from a third world country, but the odds are stacked against me because I am chronically ill. And to that, I can say, well, a healthy person won't succeed on Etsy because they have a full-time job and don't have time for it. So take the reason why you think the odds are stacked against you and use it as a motivator, because the odds have been stacked against me so many times in my life for, family reasons, medical reasons, mental reasons, financial reasons. So many different times I've felt like, the world is going against me. But the world is, if karma or the world or something is going against you, that doesn't mean that Etsy is against you or Redbubble. You need to make your own breaks in many times, because if you don't make your own breaks, if you take the breaks that you're supposed to have and just expect the world to give them to you, they're never going to happen. And you will get less and less motivated every day and burned out if you continue on this path. Another reason why a lot of people get burned out super fast and lose motivation is because they listen to false promises. This is something that's really close to me, because I believe it was a month after. It sounds weird for me to say a month after I started YouTube, because I can just say, 2 months ago. It's the same. And I was talking to a distant friend. We correspond from time to time. And she told me that I'm doing YouTube wrong. And, I'm open to criticism. Like, I've had a lot of friends who do YouTube who gave me tips and ideas on what I should and could do better. And I also had a lot of people who are viewers who told me, what they think that they would like. And a lot of friends who gave me genuine feedback. But she told me that I'm doing YouTube wrong because I'm not utilizing the potential of my niche. Because she said, like, what? You could just make like a video, like, how to make $200 a day passive income with Redbubble. And I'm like, who makes that? Like 100 people in the entire platform? Who makes that amount of daily money, especially that fast? She was like, yeah, but I see all these videos of, 10 ways to make $5,000 a month. And I'm like, but if you look into those 10 ways, the odds are that most people would make $100 a month, especially like in the first year. These are false hopes, and I don't like it. But she's like, but they have so many views, and you will get so many traffic and so many monetization, and you will make a lot of money yourself. And I think that if I was making these types of videos, which is something that I don't like and I don't believe in, I would have gotten burned out so early on. Because if I'm looking at what I'm doing now, and I got a lot of people who told me, like, it's quite ironic doing a burnout video on a month that I'm doing 22 videos, and I promised I'll only do 12 because it's pretty much the busiest month of my life. And they were like, you got burned out. And yesterday, I don't know if you've seen the video yesterday, but the video yesterday was 55 or 56 minutes. And it took me about 13 or 14 hours to make it. I don't know if that's something that It's like, overall work was about 13 to 14 hours on yesterday's video. And you feel that it takes you longer because you're tired. But two things kept me motivated or kept me from being burned out while making that specific video, and pretty much any video. The first thing was I genuinely liked the designs that I made yesterday. I genuinely think that they were good, at least to me. I would have totally purchased some of them, and I'm thinking about doing like similar things with other countries and really developing this niche. I really like the idea of me sharing, my thought process with you guys and not just the end result. And I remember feeling, I think it was like 10 minutes to 5, because 5 p.m. was the time of the live premiere. So about 10 minutes to 5, I was so tired. I remember I was so tired. I was sitting outside smoking a cigarette and just like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to stay awake for another hour for the live premiere and the chat. And then the chat started. And you guys gave me so much energy, because the amount of money that I get right now from YouTube is about half an hour of minimum wage on something that I spent 13, 14, and sometimes 15 hours doing. But my motivation, my main motivators for opening a YouTube channel were feeling alone, wanting to practice video editing, like wanting to learn and get better at video editing, which is something that was always my Achilles heel and something that I've never been able to learn. And third, I wasn't healthy enough to talk to outside clients. And when I was doing, I could have done just, affiliate blogs and kept on doing what I do, but it wasn't joyful for me. And I would have spent 24/7 for 2 months locked in my house, just opening the door every 3 nights to throw away the trash and come back. And I would spend, I think it was like one time I spent a week and a half wearing the exact same clothes. Because sometimes I'm not strong enough to take a shower, either physically or emotionally. Having the YouTube channel forced me to, brush my teeth, fix my hair, at least, to a normal level. I'm not like, all fancy. Put on, the basic makeup and get dressed. And to me, the reason why I opened this channel, the main reason was, looking forward to a different type of making money in 2022. But the immediate reason was to do something with my time, to have a connection with people and to do that. And for those reasons, my motivation has become a lifestyle. It's not burnout for me at 4 a.m. when I tell myself, hey, instead of, procrastinating in bed for 4 hours and then dragging yourself to have a cup of coffee and get back to bed, I'm getting out of bed at 4 a.m. making coffee while checking statistics on YouTube and writing down in my notebook ideas for today's video. And some days when I do like the video ideas or, what I want to talk about in today's video, I also do the one for tomorrow. And I'm thinking, what videos am I going to do next month? And my head is constantly on this because all of these pages of my notes, this brings me joy. You bring me joy. And that joy is worth more to me than the money that I would have made in these hours. Have I spent them on stacking groceries in a supermarket? Like, literally, I make far less than minimum wage here. But, it's a decision that I took upon myself for various reasons. And I think that the main reason why I turned this motivation into a lifestyle and not being burned out is because I'm not looking into making a living from it now. And I think that if you open a RedBubble store or an Etsy store to make a full-time living from it now, you will get burned out for sure. And I'm not talking about, how much money you need to make, because I do understand that for some people in some countries, making $300 is what they need for the full month. And other people need $5,000 a month in a different country that they live in, when you have different types of rents or bills or people to take after, or if you're only just you. But if you get started thinking that I need my full-time income now, the chances of being burned out would be higher, especially if you do not do all these other things like educate yourself better. Because one of the commonalities that I see with a lot of people who got burned out is, they need money fast. So they do. But they do like one thing, like they upload and upload and upload and upload and upload. And then when you tell them, stop for a moment, learn how to do marketing, learn how to do Pinterest, learn how to design better. And they will tell you, I don't have time to do that because I need this to be my only income. And the fact is, if they would have taken 1 or 2 hours to educate themselves better, and then 1 or 2 hours to do the proper marketing, that would have gotten them faster to their goal than doing 20 days of repetitive work for no reason. I do believe that being burnt out is a correlation of how much you put yourself out there, how fast you need this to work, and how much you are willing to expand your mind and learn. And I see this myself even with YouTube because, some mornings, if I don't have a video that day, I would sit and watch YouTube tutorials on YouTube. That's been totally my thing lately. I've been following a bunch of YouTubers who talk about being burnt out while doing YouTube, or, different ideas for what you can do, or researching statistics, which I really love statistics. I love numbers. I mean, if you don't love numbers and statistics, don't go into anything SEO related because you'll get burned out really fast. But to me, this is like something that I like better than designing. I know it sounds weird, but I'm a numbers and statistics person better than art, I guess. Statistics are my art. Another reason why people get burned out or less motivated is being too creative, which I think that I sort of guilty about, but it's not just being too creative and having too many ideas and jumping from one topic to another, because believe it or not, I've had kind of embarrassed to say that. I think I had over 25 or 30 Etsy stores in the past 4 years because I keep changing my mind. I keep changing the name. I keep changing the purpose. I've tried to sell pretty much anything, and I would spend 5 full days like working 17 hours. And then after a week, I'm burned out. So I change the topic because I have another idea that I want to do. And I'm actually thinking about doing like a video about how to avoid these common Etsy mistakes and the reason why I never succeeded myself on Etsy, even though I've helped a lot of other people to succeed. And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking like clients that I have guided them through, business ideas and what to do next. For me, this has been the cause of burnout until I realized one thing. It was my decision. It was my decision to forsake a store that I have worked 100 hours over in less than a week. It was my decision to try something new. And from everything that I have tried, I have had fun doing it and I've learned from it. So once you own your mistakes, the burnout factor reduces itself. Another main reason for people who get burned out is lack of support or the wrong type of support. Because, for example, when I started my business, I remember a lot of people telling me stuff like, they're off work, it's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., come to dinner with us. And I'm like, but I'm working. Because one, I just started an online business and I was starving for money. So I took any job that I could get. And two, I'm working with clients from Australia, from Canada, from the United States. These are my hours. Like I was available all day. And they were like, you work too much. You're no fun anymore. And I'm like, dude. And I think that one of the things that changed a lot in my life when I started an online business was most of my friends. Because if I were to contact one of these friends who had a full-time job at 2:00 in the afternoon and ask them, hey, want to come to the beach with me? And they would say, no, I'm working. I wouldn't say, oh, you're always working. I'm always calling you when you're at work. It makes sense. And, my decision to work over the weekends or to work at any free time that I had, and people didn't get it. But once I started hanging out with people from co-working spaces, like I got to know people who are also online freelancers who also have this like weird schedule, then I ended up having a blast because I would spend, 11 a.m. just go out shopping with a friend, or, 12 a.m. we'll sit at a restaurant and we can work during because it's fun. I basically changed most of my environment. And a lot of people are also very unsupportive in terms of you'll never succeed. And that's not something you need in your head. I mean, you do need a checkup. You need someone to tell you like you need to succeed by doing X, Y, Z. But you'll never succeed is not a mentality that you should have or a person that you should listen to. And the different kind of people who are over supportive were like, oh my God, this is going to be so amazing. You're going to get rich in like a month. No, that's even worse. That's the worst you can hear from someone. I honestly believe that's like even worse than being not supportive. And now, after we have researched all the things that can lead to burnout and motivation, let's talk about what we can do to prevent it and what we can do, pushing forward and moving forward with, being burnt out and feeling that, rut, or how to prevent it. So what can we do? I think that the number one thing that you can do is to stop competing with other people. The only person, like if you're selling on RedBubble, the only person you should be competing against or comparing yourself against was you from 1 month ago. That's the only person you should be comparing yourself to if you want to keep on staying motivated and not burned out. And I actually wrote a list of like a lot of tips, so I'm going to quickly go through them. I feel like I've had like a total different tone. Like when I was talking about being burned out, I was kind of like low on energy, and now I'm feeling like I'm a lot more active and chatty. So the first thing that helps me personally is deciding my goals in advance. It could be for a week, it could be for a month, and I do my goals videos every month. The main reason why I started doing these goals videos was, for me, because I wanted to keep track of them, and the best way to to do that is to have this, like, you're talking to the camera about your own goals. You should make them happen. I was actually kind of surprised when people were watching them. A lot of people tell me that this helped them. So setting up your own goals on a monthly or weekly basis is something that really helped me. But there are 3 rules for that. And the first is, don't set your goals alone. Set them with a friend. Like I do most of my goal conversations with my best friend. So like set your goals with someone else. And the second thing that you can do or should do when setting goals is not setting up goals that are unrealistic. Like even when I set up, I have 4 sales on my Etsy store and my goal for this month was like 10 sales. But I even said, this is like a question mark because I don't even know if I'm going to have time for Etsy. So this is like, a very sub goal that I have. And the third thing that you need to remember is to flat out tell yourself at the end of the month, I did not meet that goal, and explain why. And it's not about giving yourself excuses. It's, I didn't meet that goal because I'm so tired and I didn't have time. No, I didn't meet that goal because I didn't have time for it. On this month, either I'm going to make more time for this goal or decide that this goal wasn't important. It's that simple. So you need to be mindful about the goals that you are setting for yourself, but also be forgiving to yourself and really cutting down to the reason why that goal wasn't achieved and whether or not it is and should be a goal for next month. Another thing that you need to do when you're just starting something and you're afraid of being burned out and losing motivation is to celebrate small wins. And I celebrated either on a phone call with a friend or my dad, or just, cheers for myself when I had 100 subscribers on YouTube. And other channels in my niche have 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I had 100. That's a very round and nice number, and I'm celebrating it. I also called my friend for the first time that one of my videos passed 1,000 views. And I totally celebrated the fact that I got monetized on YouTube, which sounds weird to a lot of other people. It's like, so you can run ads. Because people who don't know how hard it is to work, they're like, so you run ads? And I'm like, I remember one of the people that I was talking to, they're like, so you're gonna, if you run ads, you're gonna make $200 a day? I'm like, not even remotely close. So why are you doing this? So once I realized a few days ago that one of my videos, I made a few dollars a day from YouTube ads, and I called Elizabeth and I told her that. And you're going to meet Elizabeth on the 21st with her shop reviews, because we reviewed shop together, and she's an amazing person that recently came into my life. And she was, I could hear, she was like, whoa, oh my God, that's amazing. And I was calling her, to celebrate. And she was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And you're going to be so, and I'm like, no, let's cool it. I need the whoop whoop and then cooling it down. I need to celebrate the small thing, but then go back to being level, because I don't want to feel, I need to feel that excitement and I need to feel that joy, but I don't need that joy to spike so much that there is only a possibility for crashing down, because I am taking this venture, this online potential, as a way of life, not as something to achieve now. I hope I'm explaining this good, and it's not just something that's in my head, but it's celebrating your small wins, but understanding that they are still small in a way, celebrating them and moving on to continuing, using them as marks on your way to your end goal. Another thing that you can do to prevent burnout and drop in motivation is educate yourself about anything that you do. And I don't mean just, listening to my channel or just one person, but reading and looking into things and trying things out for yourselves. Because honestly, I would tell you guys, 4 years I've been trying to learn video editing, and I've learned more in a month of actually video editing my own videos than I have in 4 years of looking at, other YouTube videos and tutorials. But educating yourself, of course, if you have a good mindset, if you have the mindset that is open to understanding that what's holding you back is lack of education in a certain field or lack of a certain skill. So if you educate yourself and have that skill, then you will feel, okay, I did this thing over this time and it got me let's say, less money than I thought. But now that I have educated myself, I have this new motivation because I am a new person. I have new skills. I have a new motivation to do things better. And while we are open to listening to the environment, never make one person the reason for your success. And never make one person the reason why you're doing it. I know it sounds weird because, I'm doing this, like a person that I know is like, I opened this online business so I can, have more money for my son. She can't not do this for her son, but if she only do this for him, she will get burned out faster because she would be disappointing someone. So never have one person as your motivation, but also never have one person in charge of your success. Because if your success depends on your mentor and that mentor isn't available to you at the right time, or that mentor stops what they're doing, what happens to your success? Always keep your success on yourself. And I'm not saying that the people that I have watched doing a video on a certain topic didn't help me, but the reason that that video helped me was not just the person who made it, but also me for coming into that situation, for sitting and for writing it down. So if any of you are sitting and actually listening to this video, this very, very long video, and writing stuff down for yourselves, if any of you have been watching any of my other videos and writing, remarks for themselves and learning from it, that success is on you, not on me. Own that you were humble enough and smart enough to learn from someone else at that point in time. Own it. Because without giving yourself the credit for your newfound education, you will lose motivation very fast. The next thing I wrote is take smart breaks when you need them. And the reason why I wrote smart breaks is because a lot of these systems that we're working on, whether they have to do with people or with algorithms, it's important to constantly upload. So like, for example, if you upload 40 new listings onto Etsy every day for a week and then you don't upload for a month, the algorithm of Etsy is going to think that something's wrong. You should always upload consistently. And the same thing is with RedBubble, and the same thing is with YouTube. Obviously, you don't always have to upload, and some people don't always upload because they consistently do marketing, which is a different consistent platform. But if, for example, right now, with the growth of this channel, I would go away for 2 weeks because I need a break, I'm not saying that you won't forgive me or you wouldn't understand. And even if you do understand that, and all of you come back in the video in 2 weeks from now, the YouTube algorithm is going to change. And I think that once you understand algorithms, it sort of becomes a stress point for you because you're like, I don't know what I can do. And I've seen in a lot of Etsy groups, like I'm going for a vacation for a week. How can I put my shop on a vacation mode? Isn't it going to hurt my statistics? But at the end of the day, you have to think, how much time do I need off and how do I schedule it? And I think that for the month of May, even for this month, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my videos, the ones that come up a day after a day, the backstage of it is a video that's going to take me a long time and a small time. And the way to take smart breaks can be while still working. Because, for example, on the 19th, we have a video about how to open your own website, build your own website as an artist with your own hosting and domain. And on the 18th, which is the day before that, I am going to travel to a very different city in Israel. I have a doctor's appointment with the psychiatrist who is responsible for my medical marijuana prescription. And it's going to be a very long and a very stressful day. And yet the morning after it, I'm going to do a video about how to build your own website from scratch. And I had a friend who she was like looking at the schedule and she was saying, this is crazy. This is going to be such a long day and a long video. And I'm like, not really. Because building websites is kind of what I do. And I can pretty much do that tutorial half asleep. I can do that tutorial faster. I can do a 2-hour tutorial on how to build your own website with your own domain and hosting faster than I did the mug design ideas video. Especially when you look at the editing part of it. So what I did is that on the 18th, the morning is a total break for me before I leave for my appointment. And the entire day is going to be very stressful for me. So my smart break the day after, because I did want to have a video after that, is a break for my mind, because I can seriously do this half asleep. I have woken up days after buying a domain and hosting and already starting a website. This is something that I've been doing for 8 years, and it's very routine to me, and I really love it, and it's really easy to me. So, and it requires very little editing after that. And not like, the mug design video or the other design video that I did yesterday where you saw me and then you saw all these slides of things on the side here that took me forever to make. And it's all about taking these like smart breaks and finding your way to creating different types of things. So for example, if you feel like doing the menial tasks of Pinterest is something that is difficult for you, then you do that on your day off. Like if you take a day off and you do 10 minutes of Pinterest, you try to take the tasks that you hate on the days that you're available versus the tasks that you love and take you a lot of times on the days that you are tired. I hope I was saying it right. And moving on, remind yourself why you started. And again, that shouldn't be for money. I mean, obviously you can start for money, but people say, no, I need money now. Okay, so why did you choose Etsy? Why did you choose RedBubble? Need money is not a reason. You could have chosen any other out of 200 platforms. You could have chosen to go and find a job at a supermarket. You could have chosen into opening a Fiverr gig and doing like translation. Why this platform? Why this journey? Why this specific types of products? Remind yourself why you started on that platform. And if you don't have a good enough answer for that, the burnout is probably going to lead to opening yourself on a different platform. With that being said, also make sure to remind yourself that things take time, especially algorithms and, trying to start something new. It can take you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months to see money at all, not to mention a full-time, income. There have been success stories, fairy tale stories, people who learn how to work well with the algorithm, and you can make money at the beginning. But the majority of people take months and years to make passive income online. I wrote down own your own failure in a positive way. Again, I failed because I didn't know this and this and that. So now I will educate myself on this and this and that. And I'm owning that failure and pushing forward. Interact more with like-minded people who either do exactly what you do or do something similar. So, for example, find yourself talking to people who also have a RedBubble profile, if you do, and talk about, and I'm not talking about, hey, follow me and I'll follow you, and oh my God, I'm not getting any sales. That's not a good interaction. But interact and talk about tools and share stories together. And you can do that even with someone who's not on RedBubble, because, if a person sells printable items on Etsy, maybe they know a good source of graphics that you can use for RedBubble. And if you found a good way to market yourself on Instagram, maybe that person who sells on Etsy can enjoy that too. Surround yourselves with people who share knowledge on what you do in a healthy and good way. Stay away from bad influence, which is something that I wanted to do a lot when, staying away from certain groups. Because always seeing, oh my God, I got blocked. Oh my God, I got suspended. Please, 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 I have no money. I don't know what to do. Or seeing people constantly upload bad designs, or people saying that they've done 6,000 designs, or someone saying, I got a sale. This is not healthy. Like, all these are not healthy for you. If they're not healthy for you, stay away from them. And reaching the core of how to not get burned out and how to stay motivated. Don't forget your body. Seriously. And I do mean that in the physical aspect. Brush your teeth, comb your hair, take a shower, eat regular scheduled meals, or, eat whenever you're hungry. Do yoga, do tai chi, go out for walks, sleep. Don't forget your body. This is super important. I personally love doing walks, and I love doing tai chi. I've been doing tai chi since, I think, the 7th grade. On and off, and I need to get back to this, because right now this apartment is far too small for me to practice Tai Chi without hitting something, breaking something, or breaking my own leg. And I tried doing Tai Chi in the backyard, but there have been some extreme heat days where I couldn't even be outside. But I really want to stop using that excuse and go back to doing it. And If any of you want to start doing Tai Chi, there is a YouTuber that I really love. She is called Leah Cohen. She has a wonderful Tai Chi channel that basically shows you like 5 or 6 minutes of Tai Chi each time. And I'm going to leave a link down below for that because it really helped me out with my spinal injury, with fibromyalgia, with my PTSD, with everything. So Tai Chi has been a big help for me, mostly because I can't do yoga for, different medical reasons, like different orthopedic reasons. And, you can also find yourself doing yoga, like take a 30 days yoga challenge or take, a 30 days eating healthy challenge. Do anything, but take care of your body. Another thing you shouldn't forget about if you don't want to get burned out is don't forget to just be creative for fun. Because if you upload all of your designs, that's one thing, but, just take a notebook, sit on the side and sketch, not to sell it. Maybe you'll sell it eventually, but don't do it just to sell it. Make art a part of your life, because if you won't dealing with art just to sell it, it's not going to be worth it at the beginning enough as it is for your own personal benefit. So take the time to spend time alone with you and making art. And I also wrote down journal, because this is something that I am obsessed with about. I love journaling. And this is actually my YouTube notebook. YouTube for me right now is my main thing that I'm looking at. So for example, if your main thing would be RedBubble, or if your main thing is Etsy, make a separate journal just for that. And on this journal, I have sometimes very organized things, because this is my April schedule. But I also have very, very, very messy, write all around, just random ideas, deleting stuff. Because this is, as I said, this is my brain dump. This is where I put stuff down. And this is not even my own journal, not my schedule agenda journal. This is, and it's actually new. I started it this month because my other journal was, it finished up the space. And in my own journal, I am very, very organized. Everything is very pretty. I like, looking at things and just making sure that they look pretty, because I think that it means a lot to me to have things looking well and looking forward to things. And while I do have my YouTube here, everything that is here is a YouTube video, that is the only reference to my main goal, I guess, in my journal book. This journal is about my life. And I also journal in some pages that I leave blank. I just write down how I feel. And I think that taking the time to write down what you feel is an amazing asset. And you should always use it if you want to succeed in anything, not just online. So my main point would be to have 2 different journals, one for your agenda, one for your time management, for your body. If you do a 30-day yoga challenge, put it in your journal. And the other journal goes directly to the business that you're setting up. That would be my journaling advice. Moving on. Go out and get inspired. And this is something that I used to do even when I wasn't, selling anything online specifically. I would sit at home building a website for someone, or, working on a new affiliate blog for moms, or doing graphic design, making a logo for a fitness coach. But I would go out and I would photograph colors, flowers, or graffiti, or if you're on a street and that street has a pink building next to a tree that is blue, that has a green dumpster. So, I take a photo of that. I love taking photos of color combinations. And I think that when you find the thing that gets you inspired, that can also coexist with one of your goals, it's best. And I think I'm really switching my Fine Art America concept from, just photography to flower photography or color mix photography, because I'm really into that. And to me, if I go out and get inspired, if I need that for my soul, and not just for my soul, for my body, because I do walks while I take photos of pretty things and then upload them to Fine Art America, then it's basically achieving sort of 3 goals at the same time, because I am going out, I'm doing walk, I'm breathing, fresh air, which is good for your body and your mind. I am getting inspired. I'm doing something that I love, which is photographing flowers. And because Fine Art America is so easy to upload to and so fast, then uploading these photos after shortly editing them, fixing the lights or the saturation or the contrast, sort of gives me that extra point of revenue. And I can honestly say that because this is something that I love doing, I can spend the next year not selling one item on Fine Art America. I will still upload things because it doesn't take much time, and I will still keep doing it because the reason why I started Fine Art America was to place the photography of my daily inspiration walks, to do more walks, to have something to hold me to that goal of taking care of my body and my mind. So go out and get inspired. Find something that inspires you guys. Be flexible and trust the education that you've gathered, that you've accumulated. Trust the skills that you've now gained. If you want to change your course on a certain platform or switch to a different platform, like if you decided that Society 6 isn't for you, that you want to do with Fine Art America. If you've done your research on both platforms and you made an educated decision, go for it. Yes, you'll have to start all over again, but go for it. Don't get stuck in a place where you think isn't good enough for you or not fitting your needs, because you'll get burned out. And also don't be afraid to change the topic within that platform. For example, if you've opened an Etsy store for printable wall art, because this is something that you knew existed and you just wanted to get started, and 2 months have passed, you don't really find yourself enjoying doing it. And then you realize that you could sell, worksheets for kids, and this is something that you could do better because it fits your skills. Don't be afraid to just completely delete everything and start all over again. Because if this is true for you, do it. And with that being said, can I ask you guys something? Because I opened my Etsy store, the last one, and this is crazy because my best friend's like, you keep changing your stores. I opened this store and I added like stationery and cards. And the fact is, as much as I am excited to make videos about making them, I'm not excited about making them that much. I love making them. It's not that I don't love making them. I do, but it's not something that excites me that much. And to be honest, if I look at goals and prioritizing them, there is no room for marketing that store at all. So I was thinking maybe it's time, because I was feeling burned out from barely working on it. I think burned out from the concept of having an Etsy store that I don't have time to, if that makes sense. And I was thinking about 2 possible things that I can do with this store to stay within the course of other things that I'm doing, like sort of on the go. So it's, and I would love for you guys to give me your opinion, whether it's on the live chat or in the comment section below, because I trust you guys. And you say find like-minded people that can give you the support you need. So I'm taking advantage of this platform and asking you guys. And I hope that you feel as comfortable as, first of all, to tell me your true opinion, and then, even consult with me when it's about you. I will be happy to help. So I was thinking, instead of selling printable stationery and cards, because I don't have time to market it and I don't really have time to make all of them, it's one of 2 options. So the first one would be to make printable wall art photography, which basically means to take the photos that I'm doing for Fine Art America and put them on Etsy as printables. Yes, it would mean to create different mockups and to crop it in a certain way and make sure that the files are blah, 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 blah. However, the marketing will be done in the same platform, which is the Instagram for my Fine Art America photography, which I have not done this month. Yeah, so I forgot about it. It's been crazy with the move, and then I have to move again next month. So I'm forgiving myself for not achieving that goal, but I do need to unionize my Etsy with something. So it's either going to be selling photography printables or just, or even stock photos, because people do that, like sell my photography in some way on Etsy, or change my Etsy direction to sell some of the things that I do, my original designs, whether it's seamless patterns or graphic design made for commercial purposes, and sell them on Etsy. So that would correlate with the marketing that I do with my channel, because I would be selling on Etsy graphics and things that you can use for print-on-demand websites. And I would love to know what you guys think, because I really do value your opinion. And this by no way mean that I'm going to stop Etsy tutorials, because I can definitely have a photography shop and still upload, stuff for the tutorials. This has nothing to do with the videos that I'm going to make. This is purely like something that I feel like I need, like-minded people to share this idea or question with. So any answer would be nice, and thank you in advance because you guys are awesome. Another thing that I wrote down here to help you with motivation in burnout is to learn how to learn from anything. And I think it relates to a lot of you guys because like I made a video about RedBubble designs and someone commented, I'm selling on Etsy and I don't sell print on demand, but I can definitely use that tip to do that. So she learned how to learn from an unrelated video. And I feel like when you learn how to see the little bits of information, the little tips and advice all over the place, it sort of gives you energy because you feel like you're smart, that you were able to take this correlation in your own head and learn from it, even though it wasn't directly pointed at you. And I also wrote, be mindful about the tone you use with yourself. And this is one of the most important things because it's not, I don't have enough time to invest in doing this now, so I will fail. No, it should be, the reason why I haven't succeeded yet is because I didn't have enough time. So if this is important to me, I will make more time. Never ditch yourself. Never compare yourself to someone else. I hear a lot of people like, I'm not at your design level yet. Oh my God, if I would compare myself to other designers, I'm like so low. So low. Like I see people who will like immediately pop up like a custom illustration of something out of their heads where I would need to sit down and draw it like a million times on top of a photo and then draw it again and then upload it and scan it and then draw it on top of that. And even that would take me like 2 days. Never compare yourself to other people in that way. Be mindful about how you speak to yourself. Always talk to yourself in good words, not entitled words, but forgiving and looking forward. And be mindful of the tone you use with yourself as well as with the people who critique you. And with that being said, one of my main goals for the month of March was to reduce the amount of time I spent on Facebook groups, which was because I got super pissed, I got upset about people, and I got kind of burned out because people were exhausting me. Because too many people are tag spamming and too many people are like, oh my God, help me, please, please, please help me, and message you a million times. Or people are just depressed in general. And honestly, one of the things that I really didn't get is how people in groups for designers share their design and say stuff like, best quality t-shirts in town. Dude, we're all on RedBubble. We all have the same quality t-shirts. And no one here is going to buy it from you because we're all designers. And I do miss being in a group. And I have managed like several Facebook groups before. And I think that this really came to me yesterday when I was looking into the video of today, because I do feel like I am lacking a community place. And I'm not saying that you guys are not good enough. You guys are amazing, but it's like only me sharing, and I want you guys to be able to share. And I do love our live premiere chats so much. And sometimes I feel like you guys are like striking a conversation with each other over the live chat, and then the live premiere ends. And I'm left thinking, like, do they know each other? Like, do they have each other's Instagram or Facebook? Are they going to be talking later? And I feel like I want to have a place where we can all talk to each other all the time. And Facebook group is the best way I know how to do it. So if you look down in the description of this video, you will see a link to Mate Tribe Facebook group. And I am going to be policing it quite much because I don't want it to be a spam group. I'm first only I'm not letting in random people who just came in. That's why the group's name doesn't have like print on demand or RedBubble or Etsy in it, because I don't want people to just find us through Facebook. I really just want people from this channel because I don't want this group to get spammed. This group will not be for sharing designs in terms of buy this or look at this. You can share designs to get critique, but you will do it like without a link, just a photo or photos. But it's not going to be a follow for follow, because I don't know why people do follow for follow. It's really bad for return on investment and really, really bad for your algorithm. So when you do follow for follow kind of trends, it really does hurt your algorithm in any platform. So it's really not recommended. I'm not going to be doing that. What I will be doing there is I want you to feel like you can ask questions. And it's not just ask questions for me. Like, if you ask a question about a specific thing on Etsy, other people can answer you. We are all gifted in our own way. We all have our experiences, whether it's with success or failure. And I really want this to be a place of conversation. So I already posted the first post there, just, sort of like an introduction post, so everybody can comment their, your name, where you're from, what you do, how old you are. If you want to share that information, you don't have to, as well as, what you're selling, where you're selling at, where do you want to continue selling. And I also think that the group would be the best way to better focus, what we want to see in the next few videos, better focus, shop review links, or focus like ask me anything questions and stuff like that. And I think it will allow us better to get to know each other, and not just you getting to know me and me getting to know you, because I really want this to become a community. Also, sometimes I see stuff that I want to make a YouTube video about, but it's like, it's too short to be a video. It's just one thing that I really liked, or one tool that I just found, and I don't know if I want to make a video about it. So, if we were in a Facebook group, then I could just share it there. The same with you guys. If you saw like a nice concept, you can share it as well. If you saw something cool online, or you want to strike up a conversation, or I was also thinking maybe we should do like a weekly post where like I post, this week I am proud of myself for, or like, celebrating small wins. And everybody would post what they're proud of themselves about this month or this week, and what wins do they have in their personal life or in their journey of selling anything online. And we could comment to each other. I think that would be cool. And I really want to know what you guys think. I posted it actually yesterday on Instagram, and I got a lot of yeses, and I also got a lot of DMs, and a lot of DMs on Facebook, and a lot of people from, YouTube, because I posted it like the link down below in the last time. I think we're 5 people in the group now. And honestly, if we're going to be 20 or 30 people in the group, I'm going to be just as happy. I'm not looking into like quantity. I'm looking into quality. And I really hope that this group could be a safe haven for just being supportive of each other and being together. And if you want to join the group, there is a link down below to do it. I also heard a lot of people tell me like they don't want to be in more Facebook groups, or they don't like Facebook groups. And that's fine with me. I totally understand that. I totally understand not wanting to do it, because I've been in a lot of RedBubble and Etsy groups that really made me feel bad, or made me just feel like, who are all these people and what are they doing on artist platforms? And this is not something that's going to be, and again, that's why it's not in the name of the group. It's about, like, I think it was like, I did like sell your art or creative people or something like that. I really don't want random people to search, for RedBubble or Etsy and find us. I really want just the community from the channel to be on this group. So let me know what you guys think here or in the group. And if you have any ideas for the group, I would also like to know. So you can comment that here or in the group. And if you have video ideas, you can comment that down below or in the group. And I think that I will be done, because this has been such a long video and I don't want to burn you out by listening to it. So I hope you had a good time with listening to this video. I feel like it's not just my experience, but experience of a lot of other different business types that I've seen throughout the years with my clients or with my friends. And I hope that you guys learned something. If you have your own burnout tips, if there is something that you do that keeps you motivated or keeps you from being burnout, if you have your own ideas, please share them with me, because I really do love how we share things together, and it's not just me lecturing to you guys what to do. I really am open to learn from all of you guys who are older than me, younger than me, new in this business, been doing it for 10 years. I'm really interested in learning and hearing all of you guys out. And with that being said, thank you so much for participating in the live chat. If you missed out on the live chat, you can always check out my Instagram to see when live chat appears. I promote this on my story. However, I will also start posting in the group when live premieres are going to be on, so no one can, if people are in the group, they can just see it. They don't have to be on Instagram. And I will be seeing you guys again tomorrow for a full video about the platform Placeit and what you can do with this platform. And the day after that, as I said, I'm visiting my doctor up north, so there will be no video. And I will see you again at the 19th of the month with how to build your own website with your own domain and hosting to promote yourself as an artist which will be followed by an Instagram marketing part 1. We will have 3 Instagram marketing videos this month. So Instagram marketing part 1, how to market yourself as an artist, and will be followed by the first ever shop review video on the 21st. I honestly can't wait because this month is amazing to me in terms of the content. And May is even going to be crazier because I kind of wrote down the videos I want to do for May, and I think that you're going to like them. I need to wait a few days to see where I'm headed next to know the exact schedule, but I can't wait. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you find it useful, or subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know what I'm about to say next, because the live chat is going to be ending in 3, 2, 1, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!